It's sulking and it's attention seeking.
And you don't want to go, I realise.
I'm not having it. I am going off this island because I'm not being held responsible for that. End of story.
6 a.m.
I've never been in an environment where last night you hear a thunderstorm and it's now daylight and it's still thundering and it's still raining.
Overnight, torrential rain has once again battered the island. The men have managed to protect the fire, but their spirits are low.
It is a bit mind-boggling that you can have this much rain in so long, it just keeps coming.
Yesterday, the men started work on a new shelter. But only half built, it was no match for the elements.
I massively underestimated this place, massively. I'm soaked to the skin and have been for as long as I can remember. Last night, when I got my first hunger rumble, food's playing on my mind a lot more. It's hard.
This is apocalyptic weather. It's going to threaten to wash us out of this camp.
For the third night in a row, the men have barely slept.
The positive? It's daytime. I can see how crap it is.
Here in the tropics, when it rains,
it's not just nice British drizzle. It's torrential. We can hardly hold a conversation. You've got to spend so much time and energy trying to keep your fire alight when you could be out there fishing or hunting or making shelters. However strong and determined, after a while, it saps you. You know, it saps your spirit in the same way it saps a life out of a fire.
I cannot face another day on here. Honestly, I can't. I'm at the stage of almost a breakdown, to be totally honest. You just can't imagine how tough it is. Unbelievable.
the island's youngest member, Joe, says he's had enough.
4 weeks, I knew would be a push for me. 6 weeks, I didn't think I'd ever make. The pain that I'm going to go through here, leaving the loved ones at home, Charlotte, all the rest of it.
Then why did you sign up?
I don't know.
"10 a.m, the storm finally passes. Determined to leave as soon as possible, graphic designer Joe uses the emergency satellite radio to request an evacuation boat.
I just really strongly believe that as a person, physically, mentally, and all the rest of it, I'm not going to make the rest of the time on the island. And I've not made any rash decisions because I'm aware that you can make decisions in the heat of a moment, and I haven't. I just really fancy a margherita pizza.
Joe wants to go home. I can't believe it. He's not been here 4 days. We've not even started. And he wants to go home.
Joe has agreed to stay on the island for another 24 hours before making a final decision about whether he wants to leave.
You want it up there, mark it, and then we'll cut it. Is it long enough?
No. You can go halfway then.
In the jungle, work continues on the shelter.
Can you get that any higher?
The group have persuaded Andy to help out, hoping the prospect of a dry night will encourage him to stay.
Yeah, one there.
Yeah.
And then one down here.
Right, so not there then?
Eh?
So not there then?
I didn't say to put it there.
The whole reason I said I don't want to tie a sled knot in this piece because we need to get the piece of wood in there first.
Paul is a project manager in a construction company and Andy is a builder. Them two personalities just clash because one wants to tell the other one what to do and then this one wants to tell this one what to do.
All we need to do is tie this on here, please. That's all we need to do.
Yeah, but where's the bit of wood? Because I'm not tying a fucking knot if there ain't a bit of wood in it.
Look, that ain't going nowhere. That's the shape I want.
Andy really has a massive problem with me. Everybody's been tiptoeing around him for the past 4 days. It's just been But what can you do? Something's going to explode at some point.
Since yesterday, Andy has been hinting that he too might request evacuation from the island.
Why are you threatening to go home, Andy?
All sorts of reasons, mate.
Come on, spit us out.
No, don't need to.
Why are you so aggressive? I'm asking you a civil question.
Yeah, you've asked me it 3 times. The
Tell
first
us
time
what-
should have been enough, then the second time, now you're asking a
they
fourth
were
time.
different
And then
questions.
you're calling me aggressive because I don't want to answer a question that you've asked 4 times.
I haven't asked it 4 times.
You have.
I said, why do you want to go home? You went, because I do. I went, well, give us a reason. You went, I'm not going to give you a reason.
Exactly.
I said,
so
tell
then
us
you
one,
asked again,
there
and
must
then
be
you asked
a
again,
reason.
and then you asked
I
again.
didn't ask again, Andy.
You did.
What is the matter with you?
Nothing the matter with me, son. At all.
Do we wedge that there and then prop it up?
Whatever Andy wants to do. I've had enough.
Hang on. They need your expertise.
I said, stop asking me, and he carried on asking me. Fucking unbelievable.
With the camp's 2 builders walking off the job, construction of the shelter grinds to a halt.
There's no doubt there's a lot of strong, pretty macho personalities on the men's island. And yeah, they're all trying to find their place in that pecking order. But the danger when you get these high-pressure situations like this is that the alpha males start to compete instead of cooperate. And then the danger is it blows a whole group apart.
I'm used to being in control. I'm used to being organised, everything running efficiently. It's what I do.
That ignorant wants to do it his way, and he hasn't got a fucking clue.
It makes your head, it's like it wants to implode.
Seriously, my will is a punch to the throat. He's down, gone, finished. It's over with. I walk away. Happy days. I can't do that here. Bang, done. Fat you know what I mean?
There's a lot of bad blood in camp at the minute, largely between Paul and Andy. We've got enough on our plate in this island without alpha male dick swinging.
I think everyone just needs to man the really.
I just feel like everything I do, mate, he's just there, ready to fucking knock it down, you know, or criticise. And it's like, fuck off, you know? And if he goes, I'll stay. He's my main problem.
So, I overheard a conversation with Andy. His exact words were, if Paul leaves, that'd be good, because then I will stay. I'm not dealing with that sort of immaturity. He's supposed to be a grown man. I'm not being blackmailed. I don't need to be surrounded by this immaturity. I might just have to go.
Are you thinking about off?
Can't be bothered.
Mate, you can't go, mate. You literally can't go.
Do you think that you would regret it later on?
You will regret it.
I think I won't.
Just suck it up, mate. Lift up your skirt.
Wash the sand out of your mate.
In a disastrous turn of events, 3 men, including the island's 2 builders, are now threatening to walk.
Andy, Paul, and Joe all want to leave this island. I'm amazed that they've come this far and want to give up so early.
As yet another storm hits the island, the men call a crisis meeting.
I know it sounds cutthroat, but we needed to keep as many of those guys here as we can. But for any of them to change their mind is a win.
There's been so much discussion about people leaving. My personal opinion is that we are stronger together than we are apart.
Agreed.
Joe, my hope is that you might have thought
We've
differently
already done
overnight.
this. I've already had the chat with everyone. People have already said their thoughts. I've already said my thoughts, but on that note, I will be saying no more. I'll just be waiting for the boat to arrive and to leave, okay?
Paul, would you just let us know how you're feeling at the moment?
I came to this island as a bit of a release, you know, to get away from my everyday life. I'm not really confrontational. I don't like having arguments with people. I'd rather just step away from the situation. The final nail in the coffin was to hear somebody say that it was good that I was going, which I thought was a bit of a shame, but in another way, it confirmed my decision. And in that case, that's why I decided to go.
If one goes, there's no point in the other going.
Right, here we go.
How we make that decision?
Here we go. This is
no
now
idea.
we're getting to the crunch bit. He's segregated himself from the group from day one. We're having a discussion, he doesn't want to know. We haven't got any beds, he makes himself a bed. He goes off and sulks. Somehow that's my fault.
I've had no sleep for 4 days.
Neither has anybody. I've had nothing to eat.
You've been sleeping. Sorry, mate, you've been sleeping.
Andy, nobody's had any sleep.
As a group, no one here has had enough sleep to give them the energy to do what they've had to do the next day. So you pointing the finger at me and saying, well, you've had sleep, fine, that's your problem.
I've been having a laugh up until I heard one of my teammates say they wanted me to go. I was having a right crack. Now I'm not.
In a community, not everyone gets on, and that is a fact of life, and we can't change that. So let's build our community. You and you, just keep your distance. At least we're together. We're 2 men up. We can build a shelter in a day rather than taking 2 days with 2 men down. The big strong man and the builder. You two, then we're aren't we?
See, I don't want to lose 2 builders, regardless of your characters.
We need you to stay.
I'm going to walk away, and then that would hopefully Andy can. No, listen. So Andy can enjoy his experience and hopefully thrive. Then you're not losing 2 people, are you? You're losing 1.
I'm leaving the island.
Whether Paul leaves or not.
Whether Paul leaves or not, I would rather Paul stay. He's a stronger man than me. He'll be more benefit to you. But either way, I'm sorry, I'm going.
For him to say, I'm glad he's going, good, then I'll stay, then all of a sudden he hasn't got his own way again, and it's, oh, I'm going, there's other reasons. It's maturity, it's sulking, and it's attention seeking.
And you don't want to go, I realise.
I'm not having it. I am going off this island because I'm not being held responsible for that. End of story.